I picked up a scooter at auction solely because nobody else bid on it, and I thought, how could I possibly lose for $50? Alright, so here our scooter has humped its way into the shop, and I have taken off the plastics on the front here to reveal this down tube right here is bent, like right there. And so I'm going to take the rest of this plastic stuff off and see if we get to just the bare metal, and then I'm going to see if I can heat this thing up and bend it back. To a degree. This isn't a permanent fix. So now we can see the dent better. So here we go, this is our frame damage. This guy right here, you can see that little kink right in there. I think it's more apparent from this side. It's like kinked out a little bit here and that. We need to, I'm just trying to get this, the head tube so it turns out a little bit more so that we can get some steering on this wheel up here. Alright, so slight change of plans. I'm just going to cut this tube here. I'm going to cut into it here on the back side. Not all the way through, but just halfway through, enough so that we can bend this head tube out. And then I'll come through and I'll reinforce that with a couple braces or something. Alright, so you can see we've opened that up quite a bit, and now we've got enough of a gap there. We've got enough of an angle around. Alright, so we got it back on the ground again, and now we're going to go ahead and weld a little brace in here. Could be somewhat stable when we push it around. Alright, so I've gone ahead and added a couple braces on here. I just had some scrap metal, so there's some 1/2-inch tube there and some 1/4-inch rod right over there, and there's another 1/4-inch rod on the other side as well, and that should keep it pretty steady for pushing around the garage. Alright, I also took the battery out of the little scooter last night and put it on the charger here. And this thing has been in there for like 2 years. This thing has been sitting, this whole bike has been sitting for a couple years. And shockingly, this morning it appears to have a full charge. Alright, since we, in theory, have a good battery, I want to see what happens if we hook it up. Alright, so here's our ignition. We've got the key. Look at the dash. Got lights on there. I got turn signal things happening. Horn. Alright, so it's no wonder that the starter switch did absolutely nothing, because I found this guy is the connector that runs to the starter switch, and it was disconnected for some reason. Let's try plugging it in. It is corroded. It's been disconnected for a while. Well, turn signals work, but not getting any power yet. Alright, I'm going to take this cover off here. Alright, so we've got most of the plastics off of here. Got the seat off and everything. And I've been trying to start this and it will not start. So I've tracked things down to this point where we've got our ignition coil right here. There's our spark plug wire, and then on the end of that, that would probably explain why we have no spark. We can't kickstart the thing. Alright, so luckily it doesn't look like this was cut. It looks like it was just pulled off. Like it just came disconnected from the end of the spark plug wire. So I'm just going to re-thread these back together. And hopefully we'll be back in business here. It still doesn't explain why the starter doesn't even click on. Alright, hopefully that works. Let's get the spark plug out of here if we can, and spark test this thing. Alright, so spark plug is out. Look at this tiny little thing. Plug this back into my ignition coil here. We'll set it on the engine and see if we get any spark. Alright, so now that we've got spark, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this spark plug. Let's try starting this thing again. Alright, so gas. We've got our gas tank is back there. It comes down, runs through this little mechanism here, and then the line comes down through there, and we have our carburetors right here. So I'm going to check the line coming into the carburetor to make sure there's gas coming out of it. Getting a little bit of gas. All right, so we've disassembled it quite a bit here. I've taken the carburetor off, cleaned out the bowl and everything on that and all the jets. Taken the exhaust off in case that was plugged. We've taken the intake off in case there was some sort of obstruction there as well. And now I've got some jumper wires hooked up to jump the starter, which is that guy right there. In case there's something going on with the switch there, we can get the starter going, which that does work. We also tested the compression. We've got like 120 PSI on the compression. The engine should be good. Should run with that. So now I'm going to try starting stuff by jumping the starter, because that's a lot easier than kick starting it. It works! Sweet, electric start and everything. Now that we've got our scooter running, the next obvious question is, what do we do with it? And I've been thinking about this question for a few days now, and I actually have an answer. And of course, it's a complex answer. It's not as simple, let's restore this thing and sell it as quickly as possible. No, we don't do that here. We come up with very creative things to do with stuff. And because the frame is so extensively damaged, I can't exactly restore this thing, and all the plastics are really extensively damaged, and I'm just throwing them out right now. I'm just gonna chuck them. Because of all those factors, we have really not much left of this bike except for the wiring, the wheels, and the engine. So I'm gonna work with that and build from there to something awesome. You'll like it, but it's not gonna happen for a while. This might be like a year out before we actually see this thing. I know there's not a whole lot of people at this point, you know, wanting to see more on this scooter, but it will be cool when it is actually finished. But we're not gonna get to that point because I'm taking a trip to New York to work on the Goldwing and finish up Volkswagen Beetle. So longtime viewers of this channel, this is pre-COVID stuff, will know what I'm talking about there. But otherwise, if you haven't been a longtime viewer, you're gonna have to check out some of my older videos. There's playlists for both of these items on the channel playlist section there. So check those out. The Volkswagen, we're kind of restoring that thing, and I'm gonna sell that. That's the plan. That's the first car I ever owned. I'm a very not sentimental guy. Apparently, I just don't have space for that such a thing, so I'm gonna have to sell that. I'm trying to clear out stuff from my father's place because I've been holding stuff there for years like some kind of jerk, and so I need to get the Volkswagen out of there. And I'm selling the Goldwing because I need money to fund future projects around here, and I don't have the space to store the Goldwing in this garage in Texas because I'm in a normal 2-car garage and I barely have space for tools, and I've currently got four bikes in here at the moment. One of them is a scooter, but there's 4 right now in this garage, plus an engine for the Fiat. It's ridiculous in here right now. There's no way I have space, and I won't have space. I'd rather dedicate any free space I have to cooler tools if that's at all feasible. So there's no way the Goldwing makes sense to bring down here. I gotta sell it. So if you're interested in the Goldwing, let me know in the comments, email me, whatever, just let me know that you're interested in the Goldwing. You're gonna have to come to New York if you actually wanna buy the thing. Start the communication now. You'll see some videos on that thing coming up. I'll be doing a couple more things to make that thing run nicely so that I'm happy to sell it to somebody, and then I'm hoping that I get a few weeks there where I can actually ride the thing and enjoy it, because I really haven't had the chance to do that yet. I'm hoping to get both the Volkswagen and the Goldwing sold this summer. Then we should have some money around to do some really cool stuff here and have some really cool projects to show you in the future. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you like it. I hope you like some scooters, man, because this is going to be one of the coolest scooters ever. That's a hoop-de-doodle guarantee. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.